High frequencies, everyone. I'm Blackfoot Witch back in here checking in and sharing with you my dreams. Please forgive me. I'm still battling allergies and congestion, so if I sniff or sneeze during this, and they usually get heightened every time I try to share. So every time I come back into this reality and try to share, it usually gets heightened even worse than it was before. Peace, 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 Leviathan. So I really want to get this out on what happened last night because it was just some really it was I would say it was confirmation for me on why I'm sharing these dreams and why I'm giving this information out. Because at first, I was like, hey, I'm not going to share this with people. They're going to think I'm crazy. Like, I dream every night. I always got something to share. And so, I don't know. I just never wanted to share my dreams. I always thought, like, nobody would get it. But anyway, last night, in the dream state, and a lot of things happened. I'm going to share these two different situations that occurred. So, in the first part, I was suspended in like space or just dark space, matter, cosmos, whatever you want to call it. And I saw my face, like this avatar, just the face of this avatar. And I knew it was me, and I was falling, but I was suspended in space at the same time. And then in my mind, and I had to write it down. So in my mind, I heard, "You are the believers. These dreams are for those who want. These dreams are for those who receive information from the great beyond." And it was talking to me. It was telling me that. Peace, chef. It was telling me, and when because I woke up since then and then went back to sleep. So it was telling me that these dreams are gifts to me to share with those as information. So it's like, it's letting me know these are just very highly important gifts that you need to share with other people, because this is not just something that is toying and playing with your mind like a lot of people think. These are messages from the great beyond that we need to definitely take heed to, because like I said before, I'm not here to decipher my dreams. I'm definitely looking for other people to help me with deciphering or whatever you may receive from these dreams. I'm not saying that I'm a dream interpreter by no means at all. I do not want people to think I'm a dream interpreter. Although I may be able to come up with some things, I want us to be able to look into all of our dreams, share them, and then we all receive information and break it down. Not just one interpretation and that's it. Because to me, that's not what it is. Yes, exactly. Each one teach one. Now, that was the part that I was suspended in space. It was like I was dropping. And, and the cosmic intelligence was telling me this information, like it's been given to you. For the believers, for those who receive this information. It's people that's going to receive this information. But this is given to you from great beyond. It's not something in this world. Like what you're giving is coming from a higher source. Like what I'm getting is coming from a higher source. So aside from that part, I go into another phase of the dream. In this other phase of the dream, it felt like it was like in the 1900s. And I'm trying to decipher. I know it was, and bear with me with trying to explain this. Okay. It was like the 1900s. We were black people. Black man. I was a black man, and I was with another black man. We worked together in a mechanic shop. I think it probably may have been like a few of us there. One just us two. It was like a few of us working at this mechanic shop. And we had white customers to come through to do work on their cars. But what was really stuck out in the dream is the fact that it was kind of like I was managing or helping to manage one of the workers there, but he really didn't work there. He was talented. This man could sing. Um, he had the talent where he was just very vocal. He could sing really, really good. And a lot of the white customers would come to this mechanic shop just to hear this black man's voice. And he had a song. Oh my God, the song that he was singing, his voice was just angelic. And it was the first time, it was like the first time that white people had ever heard someone's voice like that. And they were like amazed. So I became like the middleman to like manage, but we were working at this mechanic shop. And I remember this white man pulling up. He was in a car. He was in a, it was like a old, like a, I'm just like 1930s or something, like the old car, old school. And he sat there and we were coming from the back. And the guy that could sing really good, he was dressed nice for that time for black people. He was dressed like, you know, white people would dress. He had on a sweater with the long sleeve shirt in it, underneath it, nice slacks. Like everybody perceived him. That's what happens when you encounter real souls. Yeah, he was dressed really nice for a black man in that time. Um, I don't recall like what I had on or anything. I do remember this man that just could sing really, really good. And so because he could sing really good, he was able to be accepted in different areas or circles within where we were. And so it was amazing to me because when I woke up, it just came to me like, you know, out of, I guess, our people coming out of being prisoners of war, being entrapped into the bounds of slavery. There were people who were gifted, and I think that goes into play to where we have people that emerged from being from, I would say, like having skills like being a carpenter or mechanic or whatever, but they were shown that they could transcend from that using their talents. But what other hurdles did they have to encounter by being, again, puppets during that time on TV or doing these minstrel shows or things like that? Like that really stuck with me, and I believe that there's some type of energy there that we need to look at as collective, that spell binding that our people played a part in, that spell binding for captivity for black people through the use of their gifts and their talents. Like they use the fact that we have these angelic gifts and superhuman talents, that these superhuman talents and gifts, because we were enslaved and entrapped, we needed to do something to get out of that. And yes, I know that it's some of our people, because I feel this very strongly, and it's still happening today. We see it on TV all the time with all the celebrities. But it started then with coming, uprising out of that area and being entertainment pieces for them. That's why it's so important to break free of the chain of being consumed by their media. Please, 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 I can't stress it enough. Please do not be consumed by their media. This is their tool. Allow them to entrap and enslave their own people. Do not allow them to entrap and enslave us with the television and listen to media, because it's not their people that's doing this entrapment and enslavement with us. It's our own people. All right. And we always get caught up in, and what I looked at it like, wanting to be out of them, wanting to get out of the state of oppression. And when you want to get out of a state of oppression, some people do not look at, they don't look at all the other consequences for everybody else that they're doing. Yes, you have a gift of, you can sing really good, or yes, you have a gift of basketball or sports or football, but what you're saying and what you're doing and what's being portrayed on TV, that's not of a higher frequency. And I don't know who this may go to, who may hear this. I don't know what what area of life that you're working for as your career, or who you know, family members that you're dealing with. But be very, very aware and be very, very cautious of how they use us for our talents, and we've been used for our gifts. And I wouldn't even say it's being used, but we want to ascend out of this trap mentally and physically of being an enslaved people, that will take our talents and will use that for just, to entrap and enslave our own people. So that was the second part that I got from that, with the being the medium in between the guy that was, I can't even remember the words of the song he was singing, but he came from the back and he started singing, and he sounded just absolutely amazing. When I woke up, I could only think about our past vocalists, celebrities that we have. And it was like Little Richard and Chuck Berry, and just going back, to those that came out, just very, very, very talented. Sammy Davis Jr. Just thinking about those people who kind of came out of, the 1950s and the 60s and the 40s, those people who were transitioning from, their parents may have been either slaves, or their parents could have been, sharecroppers, coming from that era of them having to utilize their talents to help transition their bloodline. But what all did that cause? What type of entrapment or enslavement did that cause for their bloodline? And what entrapment and enslavement did that cause for our people? Yeah, we'll look at it like, oh yeah, they were talented, they did this, but what all happened, and what all did they allow to happen, that has continued this cycle of us seeing these actors and actresses constantly enslave us? So that was just the dream that I received last night. Like I said before, these dreams are not just for me, and it was confirmed last night that these dreams are coming from a force outside of me. I'm just this avatar. I'm just this vessel pouring it out. There were other parts. I woke up from this one. I went back to sleep, and then I just woke up again about an hour ago, maybe 30 minutes ago, and I had another dream, and it's still not coming to mind, and I'm asking for recall from my higher council of light to give me recall. But that's what I wanted to share with you all. Thank you so much for tapping in and higher frequencies.